So let's take a look at objective number 12 from the pre-assessment. It asks us to solve a quadratic equation. That's just any equation that has x to the power of 2 in it, x squared. Doesn't have to be an x, could be any unknown. If there was an unknown to the power of 3 or to the power of 4, or anything higher than that, the name of the equation changes. So it's only quadratic if the highest power is 2. That's the first part, and then it says that we're going to do this by factorising. So that means we need to factorise that thing there. In general, factorising means putting an expression into brackets, and for a quadratic equation, usually that means we need to put it into a pair of brackets. I'm going to leapfrog a little bit and go straight to the solution of that. There was the original expression. There it is factorised. Pair of brackets, just as promised. Instead of the equal sign, I've used the identity symbol in the middle here. You can use the equal sign. It's not wrong. But the identity symbol is a little bit better because that tells us that actually that is completely identical to that. They're not just equal, they are the same thing. It's like writing 1/2 or 2/4. Well, really, they're not just equal, they are completely identical. They're the same number, they just look a little bit different. By the same token, that and that are the same thing. Doesn't matter which one's on which side of the equal sign or the identity sign, and neither one of these is an answer. They're not an answer, it's not a question. That's one expression, that's another, and that symbol tells us that they are exactly the same. This is the expanded form, this is the factorized form. And just to show you what I mean, here it is, same thing again. This time I put the brackets on the left hand side, I put the expanded form on the right hand side. Doesn't make a difference. This is expanded, this is factorized. In the question we're looking at, we happen to have been given the expression in expanded form, and in order to solve the equation, we need to get it into factorized form. So, let me show you how to do that. It's very easy. So I'm going to start by writing out the equation again. And like we've been talking about, I'm going to factorize this, and I'm going to put the result of my factorizing it underneath. So we're working from the top to the bottom. We go down one line at a time. So when you're factorizing an expression like this, straight away there's a couple of things you can always do. You can always put down a pair of brackets, and you can always put an x in each of them. And let's just complete the equation. That equals 0. We are halfway there, and we haven't done any thinking. That is something you can always write. What we're missing is a number there and a number there. We need to know which two numbers go there. To figure that out, we need two numbers that times together to make -12 and add together to make 4. Two numbers that times together to make -12 and add together to make 4. So we think of some numbers that we can times together to make -12. Well, there's just start with 12. We can do 1 times 12. We can do 2 times 6. Or we can do 3 times 4. And these are actually the factor pairs of 12. So one of these pairs we should be able to add one of these pairs up to make 4. Now we can't add any of them as they are. That will make 13, that'll make 8, that'll make 7. So one of them is going to have to be a negative number. If we had +6 and -2, Well, those two now would add up to make 4 plus 6, add minus 2 is 4 plus 4. Also, because that's a plus and that's a minus, they'll times together to make minus 12. That's our solution. Those are the numbers we needed. Minus 2 and plus 6. Now there's just one last thing we need to do to answer the question. The question really is asking us, what is x? We're looking for a value that x can have that protects this equal sign, that maintains that equality there. Because it's a quadratic equation, there can be up to 2 answers. And in this case there will be. There are 2 answers, and this is what they are. Either x equals 2 or x equals minus 6. In this video, I'm not going to explain why that is. I'm just going to tell you that all you got to do is flip that sign. So instead of a minus 2, it becomes a plus 2. Instead of a plus 6, it becomes a minus 6. And those are your final answers. X equals 2 or x equals minus 6.